Hello, friends. It's good to be back. It's July 2024. I'm Diane, and I'm up to my retirement shenanigans. It's been a little bit of time since I've posted something. I've been regularly posting monthly updates on the Sit and Sew Sundays of all my buddies doing their quilts. I didn't do one for July because I wasn't able to go to the July meetup. Things have been kind of busy, life stuff. Um, so I had to bow out of this particular, the July session. I'll just do a real quick life update, get this out of the way. Dad's doing okay. He stopped driving. As of today, he's decided not to go for the knee replacement. Let's see what else is new. They've diagnosed him with AFib, but mild case, and he's refusing medication. But so what else is new? He's ornery, and we've talked him into selling his house, which we feel is the best thing for him because it's very hard. He can't really manage it, so we're going to be closing on his house on the 15th, I believe. No, not the 15th. Next month, early in August. So that's all good on the dad side. My daughter had an emergency appendectomy. She's had various health problems ever since my grandson was born, but she had an emergency appendectomy about 3 weeks ago now. And when the pathology report came in, they found she had a malignant tumor in her appendix, which I think the statistic was 0.03% of the population get something like that. So they're watching it. Well, they said it ruptured, but I think it ruptured within her appendix. I never even heard of such thing. But anyway, and they said they think they got it all, and the lines, no, not the lines, the margins were clear. I'm trying to remember the actual terminology. And she's just going to schedule she has she's going to have a colonoscopy and an endoscopy in October as a follow up. She had recently had a colonoscopy, like within less than a year. So she's going to be having another one. So today's episode, I have no quilting, and I don't have I don't have any finished objects. It's mostly going to be about knitting today. Did you notice I have a green screen? That's my kitchen. That's my kitchen. That's the color of my kitchen walls. I know I talked you through my catastrophe of falling off the ladder while I was prepping to paint the kitchen. Well, the kitchen's all done now, I'm happy to say. Well, the kitchen isn't all done. The painting is done. We still have to replace the floor and countertops. What else? That's about it, I guess. The floor. We moved the refrigerator out of the cupboard area, and that left us with a blank wall. It only had one of those short cabinets on top because the fridge fit right in, and we moved the fridge to another wall because we bought a bigger fridge. So we had to find a cabinet that matched the cabinets we had purchased 14 years ago. Well, we got a close match. It's not really good, but it's pretty good. And the fact of the matter is, it's not in the regular lineup of the regular cupboards. There's a stove between the last cupboard and the new cupboard. It's still the same color and it has the same pulls and everything because we had stained the wood ourselves and we had gotten the pulls ourselves and I was able to get the same pulls. So it's it's good enough. Anyhow, I'm still kind of decluttering and doing all that kind of stuff. So that's about it. Um, but this is a knitting episode, so let's get right into it. Uh, it's July. I already mentioned that it's July. And for you knitters, many of you are gearing up for this October for the New York Sheep and Wool Festival that's held in Rhinebeck, New York. I've only been to Rhinebeck once, and I think it was in 2019. And then the couple of years of COVID, and then I had made reservations almost every year to go. Um, one year I even bought all my, not only made hotel reservations, which are easy to cancel, but I had bought tickets to shows. But I was able to sell them all. So that was good when I'd had to cancel. Things keep coming up in the month of October. Well, I tried again this year. I've made my hotel reservation anyway, hopefully to be there in October. And one of the things that some people do when they go to Rhinebeck is they make a Rhinebeck sweater. And that's what I want to do this year. Uh, there is a yarn shop here in Rhode Island in East Greenwich. It's called Skein Yarn Shop. And they're doing a little knit along for a Rhinebeck sweater. They're making a cardigan, the Pressed Flowers cardigan by Amy Christophers. Amy Christopher. I don't know if it's Christophers. I think it's Christophers. And most of the folks are doing the cardigan. I didn't want to make a cardigan, but there's also a pressed flowers pullover. There's a pressed flowers shawl. There's a pressed flowers hat, and I believe a cowl. So there's a lot of opportunities for a garment to bring to Rhinebeck this October. So as I said, I decided that I wanted to do the pullover. Here's a picture of it. Let's see, do I have it in? Can you see that? It's the pattern. So line across it. Okay, well anyhow, that's the pressed flowers pullover. And that's the one I'm making. I am using, for the main color, the background, I'm using this Barocco Remix Light. Um, I think it's considered DK. It's got the 3 on the label, if that tells you the size. And for the contrast, for the little flowers, I'm using this yarn. It's called Noro. Actually, it's called Noro Natsumeki, and it's very pretty. I really like it. So those are the 2 colors I'm using, and I'm making progress. I started it maybe 3 weeks or a month ago, but and it's a top down. Let me see if I can find the front. Let's get this the ends. It's on the needles. I'm probably in the middle of a row, which probably isn't. Wait, let me show it from the other side. Then it might be easier. Here it is. It's raglan sleeve, and this remix is really nice yarn. I really like the way it feels. The sweater I've got on is which one is this? This is Derecho, I think it is. And this is in blue, the remix light. It's really soft. It's nice. It's a remix. It's a blend of nylon, cotton, acrylic, silk, and linen. So it has the feel of the fabric is nice and it's cool even in the summer. Although this is going to be a pullover, it's going to be long sleeves because I like the idea of just having like a top for the winter. And so far, I'm liking the way this is going, but I haven't had to make a decision as to size yet. I tend to make my sweaters too big. I'm going to keep trying this one on. I tried this one on last night this far, and it's perfect. And it's right to the top, like it hasn't gone down to where you separate for the sleeves yet. Back's the same. Well, actually, the back isn't the same. I think this is the front because the back has eight rows of German short rows. Although they don't call them German short rows, they call them a double stitch row, I think. It's a short row. And it gives that back a real nice shape. And I had a very difficult, it's an easy pattern, it's well written. The difficult time I had, I'm going to talk about my difficult time was there were 8 rows of, you did the cuff or the neck binding, um, and then you do 8 rows to start off. And what happens is you're not going all the way around the neck. What you're doing is you're going part of the way and back, and part of the way and back to make for that buildup of the back to have a better fitting sweater in the back. So, in doing that, I got very mixed up about 10 times. I don't know, maybe more than 10 times. Anyway, um, I had to start over many times. And then after I finally got the short rows in my head, it turned out to be really simple. It's just that I couldn't keep track. It wasn't hard. And I'm so glad I kept trying. Then once you learn the pattern for the pressed flowers, it's real easy to memorize. It's a pattern of 16 rows this way. And you just keep it like when you first start, you've only got maybe 2 on see, these are the sleeves. You knit it upside down, but well, because you're going that way, right? But you start off with 3, then the next row there's 5. It kind of just keeps growing. And these are your increases um, on the raglan sleeves. So it's pretty nice. And it's not color work. This is actually what they call mosaic knitting. And what's nice about mosaic knitting is that you only knit with one color at a time. If it's a if it's a colored row, like the multicolor yarn, you're just going to knit or purl across for the multicolor. And if you have to do a white stitch, they're just slipped, and vice versa. If you're doing a white row, the colored stitches are slipped, so you just pass them by. So that makes for the back being very nice. Well, if you don't look at these these ends, those are still the ends, but it gives you a nice background. I mean, you're going to see here, you can see there's carried yarn white over the flower, behind the flower. It's a fun pattern. I like it very much. I like the way the fabric feels. I think it's going to be nicely fit because starting at the top down, I'm going to go like to here, and then it'll be time to join at the sides, and I can really keep fitting it along the way. And then I can keep going down for my length. I don't like them too short, but I don't like them too long either. So it's a great pattern if I think it came out early 2023. Yes, it came out in 2023 because I remember seeing YouTube videos of people making them last spring, like spring 2023. And if you go back, there are a lot of videos of people making, I think people were mostly making the cardigan, which is really cute. I just don't like having a cardigan because then it means I have to figure out 2 things to wear on that day because you have to wear a shirt under it and wear the cardigan over. I rather just put something on. I'm done. I can go, that kind of thing. So I think that's all about it. It's on Ravelry. Oh, one more thing I should say. In case you've never done chart work, this sweater, except for the first the first 8 rows are written out in a normal fashion, with the main color, pearl, blah blah blah, that way. But then once you get to past the neck and past past the back short rows and you're starting at the beginning of the front of the sweater. It's a chart. I won't leave that on there too long. It's a chart. And if you've never done charts before, they're wonderful. They're absolutely fantastic. Oh, if you never have done a chart, this would be the sweater to try because it's very simple um, and easy to memorize. And it's the same throughout the whole sweater. It's just how many you have repeats of the flowers, but the ends are always where you either add the, let me see, how can I say it? The end of a section, like you've got your, if you're going along, say you started your sweater here and you're knitting along. So over here is where you first make one extra, and then you go across till you make your you know, you're working on 3 repeats. And then when you hit this end, you know that this is where you're going to make one. I can't tell you if it's left or right because I'm upside down now. But this is where you add stitches on either side of this. So it's always the same. Once you get your stitches on, then you do the same stitch and go back. Well, actually working in the round. So that's why you have 4 stitch markers. You mark off the front right, front left, back right, back left, because that's where your increases go, and that's where your raglan sleeves are. I'm really liking it. I haven't put a lot of time into it lately, but I want it to be done by October. Um, it's nice. It's good for knitting. You can knit it while you're watching television because it's not like intense lace or anything. It's just a pattern that you've got the chart. I have a little mind align thing, and I just keep put, pushing my marker onto the line I'm working on. But you can see what to do because you get to learn the pattern. So that's about it for me. I just wanted to let you know I was working on the pressed flowers pullover. Um, if you want to see the girls at Skein Yarn Shop, I will leave a link to their videos in the description below. If you're around Rhode Island, you might consider visiting them. I think they're on the Post Road in East Greenwich. They have a beautiful store. They're very helpful. Uh, they're just very nice people there. Hopefully, I think they have I don't know if they just recently had a Miss Babs trunk show, and I think they're going to be having some other shows soon. So let me put their link, and you can catch their videos. That's where I got my yarn, and that's where I go most of the time when I need yarn because it's not that far. Once it's in Rhode Island, you live in Rhode Island, you can go anywhere in Rhode Island. So anyhow, hopefully we get through this heat wave here, and enjoy the rest of the summer. Hopefully, I'll be back soon showing you the progress on my pressed flowers. Take care and thanks for joining me today.